It's time for So What's Your Problem? With life coach and self-proclaimed know-it-all, Stan Katzer. Taking your calls on everything and anything problematic in your life and relationships. Stan may tell you, don't worry, be happy, but we know it's not that easy. So that's where our experts step in to give you tools to navigate through difficult waters. Sit back, relax, let's get some perspective and learn how to have a better life. Now, here's your host, Stan the Man Katzer.
Wayman, I asked you not to play this song.
When
rhythm start to play, dance with me, sway with sway. D. Martin, like a lazy ocean, hug the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Hello out there, and this is So What's Your Problem? The weekly radio program where we have guest experts that are here to help you solve, resolve, and get insight into your problems. And by the way, at the end of this show, which is approximately an hour, you will be free of any problems you may have. We don't care what it is. Your life in 1 hour is going to be as close to perfect as possible. We have amazing guests. I'm going to introduce them in a minute. I am Stan Katzer. This is Talk Radio 790 KABC, 790 AM radio. We're here on a beautiful, lovely evening in La La Land. And also, people may not know it, aside from finding us on 790 KBC, we are heard around the world on KABC.com. So the troops out there that love the show, you know, in Afghanistan and Iraq and Coney Island, and we love you. And also the fellas Leavenworth and Attica and all those guys, we love you. We love you. Okay, let's get right into the show. So the name of the show is So What's Your Problem? So first, let me introduce our amazing team of experts that donated their time to us, and we really, really appreciate that. So first, to my right is a very talented, formidable, successful person. See, I'm politically incorrect now. I didn't even say woman, gal, or whatever. I'm not even saying she's very attractive because she'll sue me. Anyway, so getting right to it. This gal, she handles estate planning, wills, trusts, etc.
Yes.
So estate planning, pre- and post-nuptial agreements. Now, that's interesting because a lot of times a family law attorney will handle that. But you do that as well?
I think of it as a contract, just like an estate
it's a
plan.
Contract. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I really want to talk, I mean, pre-nups and post-nups have to get sticky.
They can. Several times they've stopped.
Yeah.
The client has been like, never mind, my wife is really upset. We're not going to go through with this. And I go, okay.
Yeah. All of a sudden you're poor. The guy invents something.
Yep.
And says, hey, let's have a post-nup.
Yep.
Okay. And living trusts, of course, wills, power of attorneys, healthcare directions. So that's like a DNR, is like a do not resuscitate or something?
It has that in it, but also has like a HIPAA release, right? What you want. Do you want to be buried, cremated? Just instructions so the person that you're leaving in charge knows what to do. They don't feel guilty about the decision.
My former wife had a very special DNR. It was an LHD. Let him die. Okay. No, I love you, Barbara. We get along well. Oh, you do notary public, and you now a mobile attorney. We're going to get into that also. So let's hear it for Heather Lynn Holmes. And we got thousands trying to break into the studio. Yay, Heather Lynn Holmes. Close the door, Wyman.
Get out of here.
Stop it. We're trying to have a show. Amazing. And to Heather Lynn Holmes, his left, is really a formidable attorney. He's been around for a little while in the L.A. area. He's a criminal defense attorney, handles just about all drug offenses, sex crimes, domestic violence, that's a tough one, white-collar crimes, DUI, and other types of criminal situations where you are never, ever guilty. You are always innocent, and if you're alleged of committing a crime, that's when we get in touch with Jeffrey. So let's go back to Heather Lynn Holmes. Little bio. Where are you from? Where did you grow up?
Okay, so born in San Bernardino, grew up out there, went to high school in Ontario, and decided I have to...
Which high school?
Chaffee High School. So I decided I have to leave this small town. I got to get out of here. So I went to San Diego, which wasn't a big jump. Went to undergrad out there, and then decided it's time to make a bigger jump. So I left the wonderful sunshine and decided the snow of the East Coast would be a fabulous idea. And I went to New York. So I was living in Harlem. interesting experience, but I miss the beaches. I'm very glad to be back in California, and I'm okay with that.
So I see you went to a very good school, University of California at San Diego, right?
Yes.
UCS. It's beautiful there, though,
It's
right?
gorgeous. I had an ocean view room, so what was I thinking to move into this
To New
tiny
York.
where my bathroom was
Yeah.
in my kitchen when I didn't have a sink and there was no mirror?
Yeah.
Don't know what I was thinking.
And what else were you thinking? Well, we could talk about it on the radio that you mentioned living in Harlem, but is New York Law School downtown?
Yes,
Manhattan?
it's in Tribeca. So it's a
Okay.
really nice area, very fancy. I'm not fancy, so I took my butt up to Harlem and I loved it there.
And plus, being a law school student, you could afford Harlem, but maybe not so much.
I could afford peanut
Tribeca.
butter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As most college students can do
Yeah,
that.
pretty much.
Just a quick story. Years ago, my daughter is 33. She's probably older than you. You're
She
close.
is. She's older than me.
close. You're a baby. So when we were checking out colleges, we went to check out NYU, which is downtown in Greenwich Village. Then we were going to go uptown and check out Columbia. Now, I lived in New York over 35 years ago. I grew up in the Bronx. I lived in Manhattan. I lived in Brooklyn. I kind of know the city. And when I lived in Harlem, Harlem was Harlem, like many other areas in the country. You're not sure if it's safe or not. So we asked the concierge, I said, all right, we're going to take the train downtown to NYU, and then uptown I'll stop at the hotel and I'll get a cab. And he said, what are you getting a cab for? I said, well, I'm with my daughter. I think maybe it's better or safer if I go a cab. And he was a young guy, probably what your age is now. He says, what are you taking a cab for? Take the train. And you're right.
Yeah.
It's changed dramatically.
I love it. I'm going back next month, and I am so excited. There's so much culture and love there, and good food, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, you have neighborhoods and everything.
I love it.
And sometimes you hop on the train and go
wherever you want to go.
Mid-Manhattan.
Yeah.
You go to the park or all the great places.
I've got a race out there, Central Park, so I have a half marathon. Also, I'll be out there for that too.
Oh, great. Okay.
So I'm running away from the law.
A half marathon.
Yeah.
Wow. Where do you do your swimming?
I don't swim. I run.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I swim, but
13.1 miles.
Yes,
something
good job.
Like that.
Yep, you got it.
See that math? How long ago did you graduate?
2012.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while.
Still 6
7
years
years.
ago.
Yeah, almost 7.
So you knew right away, let's get back to...
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I knew. I needed the sunshine. I remember walking around one time and going, I have not seen the sun in a year. I forgot what the sun looked like. It freaked me out.
Yeah.
So it was time to go.
My daughter went to Northwestern, and she's now in the entertainment business. She's a producer. But she wanted to go to New York. That's where she wanted to have her career. And she's in Chicago, Northwestern. She goes, Dad, I think this is going to be good news for you. I'm moving back to L.A. One more winter in Chicago. My face is going to freeze.
I feel that.
So that's all right, well, let's get over to Jeffrey Douglas, criminal defense attorney. Jeffrey, you're from the area, L.A. area? Los Angelino.
Southern Californian for sure. I was born in Riverside and then grew up in Santa Barbara and then went to UC Berkeley, where I really grew up. Oh. And then Berkeley didn't accept me for law school, and UCLA did. So 40 years later, I'm still here.
Pretty good schools, Berkeley and UCLA.
Yes. And
so you grew up
in Santa
so
Barbara.
Your kid, okay. And high school and all that there.
Santa Barbara
At what point did you get interested in the law?
My junior high school yearbook says that I wanted to be a criminal defense lawyer. So
thank you.
Wow.
I had tunnel vision.
Look, Mom, I want to be a lawyer.
I'm not quite sure
that
why that was. Parents had a horrible divorce, so I saw the power of lawyers, and for some reason I identified with the accused very, very strongly, as long as I can remember.
Every criminal defense attorney that comes in here, really, it's very impressive. I always say, why do attorneys have such a bad rap? And I mean this for Heather also. You guys are so nice. You're so caring.
I think so.
Really, I have never had an attorney on this show. We've had well over 100 you guys have big hearts, really. And the answer was, I said, well, why do you get such a bad rap? And the answer was, well, Stan, because we don't bill you. Anyway, so tell us, we only have 2 minutes left in this segment. Why don't I ask Jeffrey first? The case that maybe you got a much better resolution than you thought might have happened, or something you're proud of. We're very non-humble on this show.
A defining case when I was just a baby lawyer was my mentor and I represented the a woman in what was then that decade's case of the century. There were 7 teachers in a preschool in Manhattan Beach that were accused of grotesque acts of child molestation.
Yeah, the McMartin case.
Right. So I represented
we all know that, yeah.
Virginia
You did.
McMartin.
And it was a hoax.
Yeah.
Wasn't it, kind of?
It lasted.
A witch hunt.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm not a Trump fan. Anyway.
Yeah, it was just a catastrophe. And when it hit the papers, no one had
terrible.
any doubt as to their guilt. And 4 years later, charges were dismissed against 5 of them, including our client. And then the last 2 ended up, I think it took 3 more years for it to end. So yes, it was an extraordinary experience.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's really, I mean, everybody who was around it all knew the McMartin case.
Yeah.
And it was terrible the way the defense got the kids to like point at dolls and things. It was
Not
insane.
the defense. No.
That was
the other
prosecution.
way around. Right.
Oh,
Yes.
I meant the prosecution. I'm sorry. I meant the prosecution,
It was,
of course.
we saw videotapes that were never shown to the public of the initial interviews of the children, and that's what child abuse was. It
That
was the most
was the child
disturbing
abuse.
thing you've ever seen or could imagine, what the interviewers did to those children.
And did the school ever recover? Did they ever
Oh,
get their rep? Never.
no,
Never going to happen.
No. And to this day, it's still a sort of a synonym for child abuse.
It is.
It's just an extraordinary
And
nightmare.
I bet most people don't even know that McMartin's won the case.
Right.
They probably don't even know that. They just,
Right.
you know, they say once it gets in the ether, right, in a courtroom, you can't tell the jury to forget the pink elephant that just walked across the room. So, all right, well, that segment just flew by. We'll get back to Heather in a minute. I think we have some phone calls coming in. Stan Katzer, Talk Radio 79 KBC with the amazing, talented, ebullient Heather Lynn Holmes. And you get this down, heatherlynnlaw.com, heatherlynnlaw.com.